Listen, what's good, baby? Welcome to 48 minutes a game. Can we hear Jai? I think Jai
You might
muted.
got mute.
We got to unmute him.
All right, can you hear me now? Sorry.
Yeah, we in here.
Yo,
What's
my
good,
man.
man? Welcome to 48 minutes a game, Jai.
Hey, man, thank you, man. I'm honored to be here. I appreciate you having me.
Man, I appreciate you being on. And for you guys don't know, you talking about a super producer. Man, you got to go
Oh,
look at
man.
his resume. You talking about the 1% of the 1%ers, P Rock. That's what we talking about. Now,
Oh, man,
earlier,
you too
Jai,
nice.
you don't know. Man, come on. Listen, P Rock, what was that jam that we was listening to earlier with
Oh
the
man, we was listening to
Beyonce and
Friends, man, with Beyonce and Jay-Z. That was a
Oh,
crazy
man.
one, man.
Hey, man, thank you.
Whoa.
Thank you.
it was how did you what now that song is crazy. Can you walk us through the process of you developing that song and producing it?
Oh, man. So I work with a legend. His name is Boy Wonder. He did a lot of Drake's music. And so me and Wonder have been working together for a while. And I think we actually made that beat out here in LA. We were just doing our thing. I'm in the studio, like just playing a bunch of music, and I think that's how we got the little keyboard sound. I was playing some stuff out my laptop, and from there he just threw some drums on it, and it's all came together. Beyonce heard the song and she loved it, and Jay-Z hopped on it, did his thing, and it's a blessing.
That's wild, bro. What about 8 out of 10?
Oh man, so 8 out of 10. That was around like the Scorpion days. So this is like what well shoot, about 3 years ago now. We were at
Right.
we were at man, we had been working on Scorpion and doing a bunch of music for Scorpion probably like I don't know for about a year maybe. And I remember Drake had the opening line, "Too rich for who? Y'all just got rich again." Like he had the voice, like he had this idea in his head already, and we just had been trying for like the last like maybe like month before he turned it in to like uh finally get things like to finally get that song together. And I remember I just had this old Marvin Gaye flip that I did back when I was in school, and I remember playing that flip for Wonder because it was just the music at the time. It was no drums on it. It
Right.
was just
Right.
music that I made. It was the flip, and I added some extra music, whatever. And I just played that flip. And this was like literally like the last days of Scorpion. And when they added the drums, Drake came in the room, heard the beat, and was like, "That's it." And he went and finished the song. It was crazy. I couldn't even believe it.
Bro, bro, that 8 out of 10 is nuts, bro. So
Hey
we
man,
got a
yeah.
live question. We got a live question for you. Okay. What was your first placement? And how
Um.
long were you producing before it happened?
Truthfully, my first placement was Kaylani. Truthfully, I think my first placement was working with Kaylani. I got the
Mm,
chance to do that while I was in school. I was still in school at the time, and we were like we met like my junior year of college, and we just kicked it off, did a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of like I guess a bunch of free stuff, like had things on SoundCloud and whatnot. And then boom, her first mixtape, I guess her first real project was this project called "You Should Be Here," and I did a few songs. I did like 6 songs on that project, and that was like my first real like interest into the game. And at the time, I think I had truly been a real producer, like really producing. I was always making beats when I was like young and stuff, but like I didn't know anything about the business or how it really worked. But once I got to New York, I guess like it was, I had really been like serious about it, probably like a year or two.
you know the funny part is you got a gift for it, right? Because I mean that's a part of the process, and what I've learned, Jay, is like even with the guys I work with in the NBA, right? A lot of
Hmm.
them thought about the dream, but they didn't know that the dream really can happen. Like
Yeah,
I grew up even with LaDainian Thomas. Okay, LaDainian Thomas wasn't like somebody that you would have thought that would be a Hall of Fame running back. So you putting in
Mm-mm.
the reps, yeah, like you can't you can't predict the future, and then you can't put a cap because you're so creative. You can't even put a cap on your space, man. That's that's crazy. So I see that you were putting in the reps, and now I see where you are, and
Hey
now I
man,
can
thank
see
you.
where you're going.
Yeah, yeah,
We got
yeah,
to get
man.
them we got to get
It's
them Grammys.
yeah,
Them
yeah.
Grammys, baby, Grammys.
You know. Yep,
So
yep.
we had a good question. So it says, who's your favorite artist that you work with? And if you don't want to answer it, don't answer it. Or you can name multiple artists. Because I like working. When people ask me this question, they're like, "Who's the favorite player you like working with?" I'm like, I love working with all of them because I work with the 1%.
Man. I I hear you 1,000%. You definitely work with the top 90. You make them better, which is insane. My favorite probably is like when me and Kaylani lock in, it's fun and cool when things work out. So like she's one of my favorite people to collaborate with. Working with Boy Wonder is one of my favorite people to collaborate with because I learn a lot. Um,
Hmm.
I
Is he your
also
mentor?
yeah. I would say for sure. Yeah, he's like a mentor to me. I learn a lot, and it doesn't feel like a mentorship, but I look at it like that for sure. Like I learn a ton from just watching him and seeing how he works. Working with Drake is great because I get the chance to see his process, and over the years, like it's just amazing how like how in tune he is with writing songs. So
He's so
that's great.
talented, bro.
Yeah, and I think probably one other person I like working with. I think those are probably like my top favorite people to work with that I can speak on.
So even with Drake, and I've met Drake before, but I've seen people go from one level to the next.
Mm.
What is it like? What is it like being in a room when that switch click on? Because I know he got a switch, and you don't have to give up his secret. But what is it like when you see Drake flip the switch and he get in the game mode?
Oh man, it's inspiring because he's the best at what he does, and so just to see, I guess it would maybe be the same as like you seeing Bron like going to a switch. You know what I mean? It's
I
just
s-
like wow, like I'm really witnessing greatness, and I'm blessed to just sit here and witness it and try to contribute however I can. I just try to play my part and be ready when I need to be ready. But
you got
he's
to be super
it's
talented to be
amazing.
around it.
Oh man,
Yeah,
like
we had
yeah,
another
like
great
everybody around
question.
me is
Bring
talented.
is talented. Bring up that question again, Kennedy. Okay. Is there a song from the past you wish you wrote or composed? That's a good question.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, so I went to school for jazz piano, um,
Okay.
in New York. So for some reason, like things, I'm not really necessarily like I do produce a lot on my own and do a lot of drum programming, but I'm more interested in like harmony or like music, I guess. And so with everything with that being said, I think one song that I'm like, man, like I just wish I wrote this music. You're gonna laugh, but it's probably Viva La Vida by Coldplay.
Say it one more time.
Viva La Vida by Coldplay. Like that's one song and I'm like, damn, like I wish I could write something like that. Like or I wish I would have
I
written something
think
like that.
I think you will though. The
Hey man,
one
I'm
thing
trying
that I've
to.
learned,
Trying to.
the one thing that I learned, you know, people invent things, right? It's not always the first to do it. It's
Mm.
who's the best at it. So when you're in your process, when you're in your process, don't worry about who wrote it and where it came from. Get in your bag, and then you're gonna start producing those over and over again, bro. I promise you, there's no
Amen.
limit when you think like there's no box at all.
Hey man, thank you. Yep. Hey, I hear you. 1,000%.
Yeah, that's great. Listen, Jay, I'm so glad you came on the show, and I don't want to miss anything. So, from a music standpoint, I want to make sure the young people that are aspiring to be you, they got to understand your work ethic, right? And I know
Hmm.
how you work because me and you be up 3, 4, 5 in the morning. We talking.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
type of work? What type of work ethic do you have to become you?
Oh, I mean, man, don't be me. 'Cause I'm trying to be better every day for myself. I think too much that I'm not doing enough. So for me to, I think the work ethic is just you got to be just dedicated to a craft. It's great to have passion too, and I guess just trying to make sure. And lately for me, it's been trying to maintain a healthier lifestyle. I've
Mm.
been getting into like I'm just trying to keep all that in line. My passion, my dedication, and my lifestyle. I'm just trying to keep all of that like a healthy living lifestyle. I'm just trying to keep all of that in check. So I try to make sure I work out like 4 or 5 times a week. And, like I come to you every
You
now
in
and then
great
just to
shape.
run around.
Yeah, you love to be, but you love to be in the gym. Tell me who don't
Yeah,
love to
yeah.
hoop? Come on now. If we just
Yeah,
hoop,
for
we just
real.
hoop.
Yeah, for real, bro. I'm with the right guy. But that
Yeah,
and
and
then I try to just check my passion levels and my dedication level to what I love to do because music is something I grew up playing piano when I was a kid. That took me up to school in New York, and then that took me out here to LA, and it's been blessing me ever since. And so I just try to
what
make sure I
school
keep
did
my
you go? What school did you go to in New York? I just want to make sure people know
oh
because I know you're
uh,
from Florida. But what school
yeah,
did you go to in New York?
I went to Juilliard. Yeah.
Yeah, let's not miss that. so, so you're super talented at what you
Oh
do
man,
because
thank you,
you
man.
anybody just can't get into Juilliard in New York. You know that,
Man,
right?
hey, man, hey, it's a blessing. It's really a blessing and a big learning lesson.
It is.
Yeah, and when it's a blessing to like at the time I really didn't want to finish, but my parents really stayed on me about finishing. So it's a blessing to also be able to be like, oh, okay, I actually did it and then I finished and graduated. And it's cool.
Wow.
It's a blessing for sure. But uh, yeah, with all of that, I really just have to because music can be tiring, as you know, like same thing with you because you got a whole nother
Sports.
aspect between like it's not
Yeah.
only the mental, you also got the physical that you got to keep in check. So I just can only imagine, but you just try to keep everything in check so that way you can keep moving and pursuing and achieving the dreams that you have.
Well, you just inspired me, bro, because the things that you talk about chasing, that's what I'm chasing. So I don't feel like I'm crazy when I hear you chasing something because I'm like, okay, I want people to think I'm really crazy because like I'm chasing my passion. And then
Oh man, yeah.
when you see other passionate individuals chasing a passion, it reaffirms who I am. So you just inspired me, and that's very hard to do because I feel like I'm an inspiration to everybody. So I appreciate
Hey,
you, bro, for
man, you
being
are a
here.
big. No,
And
I appreciate you for being an inspiration, man. You are a huge inspiration to a lot of people, man. Man,
that's
for real.
amazing. So Kennedy, I know we're